Hey guys, it's Taylor. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. I hope that you enjoy your first time here. Today I'm filming a video that I've been super excited about ever since I decided I was going to buy this palette, and that is my first impressions review slash demo of the Jaclyn Hill palette by Morphe. I purchased this at Ulta. I purchased this with my own money. Obviously, like, I'm too small for companies to care about me, but I just know that especially with Morphe, people have a lot of like questions and people are, you know, kind of over the whole Morphe product placement thing. So I just wanted to be clear, this is just something that I wanted to do. I saw the palette, I was really intrigued by the colors, and even though there's a little bit of controversy surrounding the palette and the company and even Jaclyn, that's not really why I'm here. So, but this is the palette. I'm sure you guys have seen it like hundreds of times. It's got 35 colors. I did swatch this, or not swatch it, but like I played with some of the colors yesterday when I was filming my kind of like unboxing slash like random crap haul. I played around with these shadows a little bit just to kind of get a feel for what I wanted to do today. And my first thought about this palette is it doesn't feel like any other Morphe palette. I know that there's been some stuff going around about like, did they change the formula? Did they just change the way they're pressed? All this stuff. Whatever they did, the shadows do definitely feel different. I own the Jaclyn Hill Favorites palette from Morphe, which was the original one that she kind of curated the colors for with them. And then I also have the Morphe 35W, I believe it is. It was from the year that the 35O first came out, and I actually really wanted the 35O, but I didn't want to keep waiting for it to come back in stock, so I actually got the 35W instead, and I really liked that palette. So as far as formula and like overall impression of the company, I've never personally had a problem with Morphe brushes, never had a problem with Morphe shadows, never had an issue with anything that I've purchased from them. All of my purchases have gone well. Obviously, I don't have a ton of stuff from them, but I do have, like, my favorite highlighting brush is a Morphe brush. I have a foundation brush from them. I actually don't have any eye brushes. I don't think. Most of my eye brushes are, like, from my cheap set that I have, or they're, like, Sigma. As far as shadows go and stuff like that, like, I've never had a problem with Morphe. That was just my little disclaimer. I wanted to let you guys know, like, I do like Jaclyn. I do understand that there's some drama surrounding her. I do understand that there are some things, you know, that maybe have come up in recent times that I'm not super happy with about Jaclyn, but overall, I like her content. I like the type of makeup that she does, and I like this palette that she and Morphe have put together. So I just want to kind of open it and use it for the first time on camera, and we'll see where this goes today. It's gonna go some freaky places. Look at these colors. Like, it's gonna go some good places. So I'm gonna go ahead and zoom you guys in, and we will get started doing our makeup. I've already primed my eyes with my MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot. I just put that all over, and then I set it with the, oh my god, what is the name of that shadow? Tempera from the Modern Renaissance palette. That is my absolute favorite shadow to like set my eyelid primer with, just because it's got a little bit of a shimmer to it, but it's mostly matte. It's got a really great finish. It's super smooth and silky. Everything else just glides on right over it. So definitely that's my favorite one to use. All right, so I've got you guys zoomed in here, and as always, I'm turning my autofocus off just because since my background is different now, it tends to have like some issues focusing on me and like staying focused on me. So once I get it focused on me, I kind of like to leave it here. So for today, I think I'm going to cut myself a couple of pieces of tape to use on my eyes, just because I feel like when I'm working with like crazy colors, I like to have a really sharp line. If I'm working with like neutrals, I like to have them kind of more smoked out. But I just feel like it's really easy for the crazy colors to look kind of like dirty on the skin. So I like to keep them, I don't know, I just like to keep them kind of sharp. I'm just gonna go ahead and cut a couple pieces of tape. Literally the only tape I have right now is masking tape. Honestly, I used this on my skin yesterday when I was doing my eye makeup, and I really like it. It's a little bit softer than regular tape on your skin. So like the adhesive, I don't know, it just like isn't as strong, or it's got like it's got a very different feel to it. So I like this over using like just regular Scotch tape. They never feel like they're in the same place. My eyes are two different shapes. I have one eye that's more Asian than the other, and one eye that's like more white, and it throws me off every time I have to do this because I want them to line up perfectly, but they never do. Hashtag halfer problems. I think the first thing that I'm going to go in with, I want to play around with the colors in here, but I'm going to start with something that'll kind of help to blend everything out. Also, the nice thing I like about the one from Ulta, you know, because they've redone the packaging, is that all the shade names are on the back, so I can hold up the palette, show you guys whatever I'm using, and find the name at the same time. So that works nicely for me. So I think I'm going to take the shade Silk Cream. That's the third one in here from the top. And I'm going to take that on my MAC 217, which is literally, this is my favorite brush to like start off looks with. Everything is so like fluffed out, so smooth. So I'm just gonna bring this up like pretty high in my crease since this is a transition shade. I want to kind of get it all in there and blend it all out. As far as the matte shades go, I feel like even those still feel a little bit different to me than the ones in the shades, or in the palettes, excuse me, that I've gotten from Morphe in the past. They feel really nice and smooth, and I've never had a problem with Morphe, like I said. Like, I thought that the ones before were really smooth and nice, but this one's just got a little bit creamier of a texture for me, which I really like. Everything is very soft to the touch. So I think that I probably piled enough of that in there. Now I'm probably going to use this same MAC 217 brush, and I'm going to go in with this shade right here. This is called Butter. Yeah, it's that second one in there. So second one in the second row, and I'm going to take my MAC 217, and you know how it's got like, it's kind of got one side where it's flatter. So I'm going to take it flat and bring it a little bit tighter in the crease there. This is going to add a little bit more of like the peachy orange shade, which I like to have. I always like to have something kind of peachy neutral to balance out color. For some reason, I just always think it goes really nicely. So I'm bringing that on the flat, like flat ways of the 217. I guess that makes sense. And I'm just bringing this tighter into my crease than I did with that last shade. I'm gonna swatch a couple of these really quickly and kind of see what I'm working with here. I'm gonna stick with the same brush because I'm basic. So I'm going to go in with this shade right here. This is called Creamsicle. It's got a lot more of a yellowy orange tone to it. And I'm gonna kind of take this, and placing my brush vertically, but then pushing it horizontally through my eye, obviously. I feel like there's too many directions going on in this thing. Okay, I really like this shade. This is really fun. So I'm bringing it just directly in my crease, but I'm bringing it so the brush is up and down, and that's gonna kind of blow it out just a little bit more. I'm just going to take another random fluffy brush that I have in my collection. I'm gonna go in with this shade right here. So it's the fourth in from the top. It is literally called Pukey, which actually is a pretty accurate description of what this color is. And I'm just gonna take this again right in the crease. I just feel like the more shades you use in something like this, the more blended it looks, the more dimension it has. It's got a really nice smooth transition. So I'm gonna just work this on in there. This literally looks like baby puke, like the name fits. Let's blend one more color in there. So I'm just gonna take a nice soft brush. This is an e.l.f. professional blending eye brush. It's like super cheap. And I'm going to go in with the slightest amount of the shade right here. This is the third row, 1, 2, 3, fourth in. The shade is called Roxanne. Very tightly in my crease, like very tightly. I feel like partially I want a lot of colors in here because I want the dimension, and partially I'm stalling because I'm really nervous to play with these colors. I love color, but I feel like there's so much opportunity for it to go so wrong that sometimes, I don't know, I just get nervous. Anybody else do this? Just me? And I'm also, as I get into these like darker colors, I'm kind of swinging them out here to get a really good wing as well. So I think that's good. I'm going to take my 217 with no additional product and just kind of blend out everything that I've done. I think I'm going to start by using a pencil brush so I have a little more control over what I'm doing. And I'm going to take this shade right here. This is called Enchanted. It's a nice deep green. And I'm just going to start bringing this in the outer third of my eye for right now. I think I'm going to kind of make a halo effect. So I'm just going to bring it, and I can wing it just a little bit out here. Bring it and wing it. I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side, just starting to bring this color in. And I'm gonna bring it in on this inner corner here as well, and just connect them in between. These blend really nicely. Definitely that's one of the first things that I would say is like they're very easy to move around, but then if you want them to stay in place, they stay put. Just gonna go back in with the green colors and kind of fill in any gaps that I see or places that I want to have a little bit more pigment. All right, to take a little bit of a break from working with such terrifying colors, I'm going to do an inner corner highlight. I am using the shade right here. It is called Beam. Super pretty. It's like a nice creamy colored little highlight in there. And what I like about this is I feel like when it blends with like gold colors, it's got a gold reflect, because I've seen other people use this particular shade, but I feel like since I'm working with these colors, it's almost got like a teal reflect to it. I don't know, maybe that's just in my head. Maybe I'm literally crazy, but I feel like it looks really nice with these shades. The moment of truth, can I pick a good color to go in the center of my lid right now? Really quickly, I want to try something. This made this interesting just now. So just to kind of blue it up a little bit more, I'm taking a little bit of the shade Jada, and I'm taking this, you can even take it on that pencil brush if you're using a pencil brush as well, and I'm just kind of bringing it in where I brought all those green shades. This kind of, I don't know, I just like the tone that it gives it. Gives it a little bit more of a jewel tone versus like a deep green. All right, here we go. I'm gonna try, because usually what I would do is I would go in with like a gold sort of color now, but I'm going to try something different. I'm gonna go in with my little bitty Sigma E56, just a lid shader brush. Here is the moment of truth to see if this will work. I'm going to take this shade right here, It is called Obsessed. Definitely can understand why. It's super pretty. I feel like this is comparable to Pink Champagne from Anastasia, which is literally my favorite eyeshadow of all time. So I'm going to take a little bit of this on this brush and I'm going to spritz it with my MAC Fix Plus, and I'm gonna go right in the center of both of my lids. So I feel like as it went on this color, it has kind of worn down to like more of a white, but honestly not complaining. You guys know the process with this. I'm gonna go back in with some of my darker shades and kind of build those up around it, make sure everything is well blended. So I'm gonna go in with that Ego Tools brush that I used for my highlight because it's clean now, and I'm just going to smooth out those edges. Oh my god. Okay, I'm sold on the palette. 100%. I love it. I'm going to take a little bit of, I said that I wasn't going to work with gold. I'm going to take just the like absolute tiniest amount of this one right here. It's called Queen. Literally so tiny. And add that in there. Just to give a little bit of a gold reflect because I feel like the other one has a little too much of like a white. So I just want to add that in with it. And when I say slight, I literally mean like ever so slightly. And you can see I'm kind of patting this over the top instead of swiping it because I don't want it to overpower the shade we put underneath. I just want to kind of add a little bit more of a gold reflect. All right, now I'm going to take my blending brush again, my MAC 217, just blend everything out up in that crease area. I was debating whether or not I wanted to do liner with this look, but I think I do. Really, I always want to do eyeliner. If we're being honest, I always want to do winged eyeliner. Brand new Stila Stay All Day waterproof liquid eyeliner. You guys know this is my go-to, my holy grail. There's nothing more satisfying than the first wing with a new liquid eyeliner. All right, so it looks like I'm gonna have to do just a little bit of cleanup on the liner. I'm learning that the masking tape doesn't do so well with, you know, making sure that the liner is really clean. It like stops the shadows, but sometimes the liner like seeps down a little bit. So I'm going to grab some micellar water, clean that up, do my face makeup, come back and we'll finish up the eyes in just a minute. Alright guys, so I went ahead and did my face makeup. I'm ready to go ahead and finish up the eyes. I have my Sigma E20 short shader brush. This is my favorite brush This is my favorite brush to use in the under eye area. I'm also going to be taking my e.l.f. flat eyeliner brush. This is just a super flat angular shading brush. I just caught my dog. She stole my eyeliner out of my makeup bag because my makeup bag is sitting next to me because I'm about to leave on a trip. So I'm doing all my makeup literally out of my travel bag, and she just stole my eyeliner out of it and started eating it, so bye. Anyway, Silk Cream. Blowing that one out underneath my eye. This really won't do a whole lot except it will help everything else to blend better, and it kind of makes the transition between my skin tone and whatever else I'm putting on here. So now I'm taking that flat eyeliner brush. I'm gonna go in with these two shades that I used in here. This is Pukey and Roxanne. I'm just taking a little bit of both of those on that flat eyeliner brush. Literally gonna make it so flat. I'm gonna do this right up along my lash line. Now I'm going to actually take my MAC 217 brush and just sweep this under my under eye area. I'm going to take my Sigma E20 short shader again, and I'm going to take just the slightest bit of this shade right here. This is Creamsicle, and then a little bit of butter. Bringing this, again, this is my thicker brush, so I like to use this for the more blown out colors, and bring that underneath. I like how that looks. Now the next thing I'm going to do is add some darkness to my lower lash line. This is slightly more green than the shade that I used on my eyes, so I'm hoping that it'll even out once I put the rest of it in there. But I'm using the Sephora I'm using the Sephora Colorful Shadow and Liner Crayon. It is waterproof, which is nice, especially since I'm using it on my waterline. I feel like I always like to have something waterproof in there. All right, so I got that in my waterline in the bottom. All right, now my biggest problem with doing a cream like this is that usually they don't stay. I usually can't get them to stay in my waterline just with the cream. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take a little bit of the shade Diva on that flat eyeliner brush and really pack it on there. I'm gonna take it inside my waterline and pat it right on top of that shadow crayon that we just placed. This is also going to make that color match because, like I said, the crayon was just a little bit greener than this color that I'm using right now, Diva. Diva has a little bit more of like a teal, almost bluey tone, so this will kind of help balance that out. Now I'm just going to take that Sigma brush I was using again. Literally, I just go back and forth with brushes all the time. So I'm taking the Sigma E20 again, and just right underneath that, on the actual lash line, not on the waterline. Oh my god, there was a bug. Right underneath that, just gonna blend out whatever is in there. I like the dark lower lash line. I think that worked really nicely. I want to go for something that's going to add quite a bit to my lashes as far as, you know, making sure they're really dark. So I'm going to go with my Mary Kay Ultimate Mascara. Honestly, if like door-to-door makeup sales and stuff like that weren't so annoying, I would buy so many more Mary Kay products because I love this mascara. The wand is like perfect. It's just really nice. It's a nice formula. I feel like it's very soft. Not like soft in color, but like actually physically soft. As finishing touch steps, I'm going to go in with a little angled brush and I'm going to take that same shade that I used before before to highlight my inner corner, and I'm just gonna pack a little bit more on there. I feel like it kind of went away as I did my face makeup and stuff like that, which is, I guess, to be expected. And I'm also then gonna take a little bit of that shade Beam on my highlighting brush, kind of give it a go on the face. Oh, that looks nice. Final touch, just taking my MAC Fix Plus. Oh, no. And then I'm also going to use that same shade with that same little brush I used on my inner corner to highlight my brow bone. Oh my God, Louise. I'm all about a good brow highlight, honestly. Some people are like, oh, I hate when it's like shiny under your brows. Like, no, I love that. Can you be quiet? Jeez, she's like freaking out. All right, finishing touch, I'm gonna take my MAC Fix Plus. Because I'm extra, now that I've gotten the Fix Plus on and it is dry, I'm gonna take a little more of that and add just a pop of extra highlight. Alright guys, so this is the finished look that I came up with. I really hope that you liked this tutorial. Honestly, this is a solid palette. No matter the drama surrounding it, no matter what you think of Jaclyn, no matter what you think of Morphe, this is a really solid palette. As far as, I mean, I've even just like swatched a couple, or I've tried them out with like brush swatches and stuff. I've been thoroughly impressed. I think everything is really nice. Definitely, I think if you have any interest at all in the colors in here, it's totally worth it. I did forget to mention this is a $38 palette for 35 shades plus, I mean, the nice packaging. So it's basically slightly over $1 a shadow, which is pretty typical for like Morphe products, I feel like. So I'm really happy with it. I think it looks really nice. I think that everything was so smooth, so easy to blend. Everything works nicely together. There's honestly nothing in this palette that I feel is out of place. I feel like everything has a place, everything has a complement, everything has something to go with it. I'm really excited to make more tutorials using this palette, so I'm impressed. I would definitely recommend this palette. I think it's great. It took me a while to purchase it and decide that I was going to, you know, pay the money for that, but honestly, I'm really glad I did. I'm excited for the creativity. I can already feel like it's bringing in me. I'm really excited to kind of play with color a little more. You guys know that's always my goal, is like, I want to do like wearable shadows, but I also want to like play around with color. I want to have fun. I want to take these shades that, you know, you can't wear every day, but I want to try them out and see what I can do with them. So that's something I'm really excited about for this palette in the future. I definitely think it's a really nice palette. I think that Jaclyn did a good job curating the shades with them. I think that Morphe did a good job on the formula and the pressing and everything like that. I just feel like it's a very impressive palette. If you guys enjoyed this video or found it helpful in any way, or if you just kind of were here hanging out, you know, give it a thumbs up. If you saw anything in there that was interesting to you as far as like shades, let me know that you want to see a look with it, and I will try my best to get all of those completed and filmed for you guys. So let me know down below if there's any tutorials you want to see with this particular palette. Thank you guys so much for sitting down with me today and watching this video. I really hope that you enjoyed my thoughts on this. I hope that they were helpful for you, or I hope that this kind of maybe put you in the right direction as far as whether or not you think this palette is for you. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye! Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more, because I'm going to do the Anastasia palette next.